if you sell to retail brands, CPG brands, food service brands, and you want to get more deals across the line, I'm going to walk you through in this video one tactic that we use for our clients that has enabled us to close more deals than a lot of our clients' competitors in a shorter amount of time. So also, there's some very important pieces of information in here why you should do this, so definitely watch until the end. Real quick, if you've never heard of me before, my name is Ryan Ogren. I'm the founder of Money Make Marketing. So far this year, from January 1st to June 1st, we've generated $5.8 million in cash collected revenue for our clients. And all of our clients, they're vendors of retail, CPG brands, and food service brands. So we know exactly what it takes to close these deals. We've been doing it time and time again. We just closed a $1.2 million deal start to finish in 13 weeks for a flexible packaging distributor. So we know what it's going to take, and we compete in very saturated niches with these strategies. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on so you can get notified when we do a new video. But the tactic today, it comes down to the data that you have, all right? So a lot of you're getting your information, your prospect information from ZoomInfo. Maybe you're getting it from Apollo.io. Maybe you're getting it from ListKit, maybe Prospeo, maybe Clay, maybe just Sales Navigator. Okay, those are like the main ones. It could be something else. It could be like Rocket Reach. I heard that one before. Now, when all these platforms, they're great because they can give you a lot of great data, but it's also the data that everybody is using. And so the response rates historically from these the data from these particular data providers it's okay, but it's going to be a lot lower than information and emails that are not on these platforms. And I know what you're thinking now. You're like, Ryan, what are you talking about? There's information that's not on these platforms. And yes, there is information and contact information and your decision makers. There's a lot of them that are not on these platforms. And I'm going to explain why. Okay, so one of the best triggers in your niche is when a decision maker changes. Specifically, if you're in packaging, if a decision maker changes in packaging or procurement or supply chain, that is a telltale sign that they're going to be reviewing that program relatively soon. Okay, and so it might not be right away, but they're going to review it, and they're probably going to be looking for other partners. Okay, so when that person changes that into that job, when they become a part of that company, these data providers, they only get their information from LinkedIn. That's how they enrich their data. So they're getting their information from LinkedIn, and maybe that person doesn't update their LinkedIn right away, right? So now, how do we actually get the right information? How long until ZoomInfo, Apollo, ListKit, like all these companies actually get the right information? Because when they onboard with that company, what's the first thing you get when you onboard? You get an email address. So when you get an email address, but you don't really update your LinkedIn yet, you are in this like ghost window where you're not getting solicited by anybody. And actually, oftentimes, a lot of people understand this, so they don't update their LinkedIn because they don't want to be solicited yet. They like the peace and quiet. And so if you are able to understand this and you are able to track this, you have a window of time of actually hitting these prospects, these new decision makers, before they go on these major platforms with contact information. We closed a $1.2 million deal in start to finish in 13 weeks for one of our clients. They've been going after this company for years before us, but they just had a decision maker change. We went after them right when they onboarded, got them a call immediately, and then they immediately started the quoting process. And the way we're able to do that, because this decision maker, their LinkedIn was still showing their past company, and we actually had their email address. We were able to go and find their email address with this strategy. So I'm going to walk you through how we do this. Now, the key principles you need to understand. All right, the very first thing that we need, let's do a prereq. What we need first is we need a verified contact at that particular company, at target company. The reason we need this is the naming convention. I actually like to grab 2 or 3 just in case the naming conventions change from level to level, okay? Sometimes this does change. But once we do that, you have a verified contact at each company. This can be not the decision maker. This is just some person in the company. Then step 2, what I like to do then is I actually will go and get the name of the new decision maker. So how do we actually do this? We're looking at job postings. We're looking at any kind of things that are dictating a trigger. And when a company puts a job posting up and takes it down, we're looking at what's the actual movement in that particular company. If they're not changing their LinkedIn right away, then we can do some internal searching. And we have our own databases, our own methodology, and our own outreach to tell us some of these triggers. But if you can figure out that, hey, this company has a new decision maker, and they're onboarding soon. Maybe the teams are telling you, maybe you have some inside information, maybe you're working with us and one of our triggers is working, but you have the name of the new decision maker, but you don't have their email address. What we like to do is just guess. And I know you're thinking like, wow, Ryan, I waited this whole video just to guess to get their email. No, it's a very educated guess, because pretty much what we're doing, we take the verified contacts at the target company, we take the name of the decision maker, and then we just put this into AI, and then we hooked up our AI to Million Verifier. And Million Verifier, for those that don't know, all this does is it sends like a MX email just to verify that the inbox is receiving. Now, you can get some catch-all emails from this, but for the most part, when you do this, it'll tell you which email is actually good and which one's bad. Because if it's an invalid email, it's not even accepting mail. So we can guess on which ones are correct, and then once we have a correct email address, now we're verified and we can go. This is better than doing it 100%, because it's not 100% accurate that it's going to be able to get the right information. It will get the email to their inbox. Now, what I've learned is it's better to be like 65 to 75% sure that this is accurate, but just do it anyways, because you get a shot on target. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And you have pretty good information that tells you that it is accurate. Look, you have a verified contact at a target company. You have the naming convention. You have multiple naming conventions. This is a new decision maker at that company. We have their name. We can pretty much guess what their email is going to be, right? And then when we verify it and it shows us, all right, that it's accepting mail, we're pretty much good to go. Now, Million Verifier doesn't actually send emails for you to test if it's receiving or not. That might be something that you could use with SmartLead or Instantly. Those are like email sending tools where a lot of their data might come from that. I'm not sure. One of the things that we just do is we just put this into a campaign and we send to it anyways. That's the reason why 75% accurate. Like, it's just one email. It's not going to kill us in the world. Okay. It's not going to kill us. It's not the worst thing in the world. So that's one way we've been able to do this. And it took our decision maker find rate from 45% to 75% just right away. If you're finding qualified companies and you're not finding the right emails, like this is how you actually will increase it. And with AI and with Claude Code, you can do this super fast. All right. So I recommend you use it with Claude Code. And that's just one way that we have a short window of time to contact these new decision makers before anyone else contacts them. And if you have any questions around like how we find the name of a new decision maker before they update their LinkedIn, but we know they're actually the new decision maker, make sure you click the button below, or not the button below, the link below, apply to work with us, or drop a comment, and maybe I'll do a video on that, on all of our triggers. I don't know how much I want to give away as far as like secrets go, but hopefully this helps. It works really well with AI. This is a strategy that a lot of people have learned before, and they were able to do this, but they were doing it manually. With AI, you can kind of do this at scale. So definitely check it out. If you like this video, make sure you comment and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. Ryan Ogren, Money Make Marketing. See ya.